If you want make a ginger, give me tea, kokoro. My coach, I be your love. Anywhere I go, just come up with my bum.
Welcome to Thriving Talks with Anthony. Today we're going to have a conversation on self-care in regards to our mental health. According to the CDC, which is Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, mental health includes our emotional, psychological, and social well-being. It affects how we think, feel, and act. It also determines how we handle stress, relate to others, and make healthy choices. Mental health is important at every stage of life, from childhood and adolescence through through adulthood. So adolescence through adulthood. So today we have a guest, and his name is.
Call me Niall McDowell.
All right. And we're gonna talk about our, like I said, self-care in regards to how it affects our mental health. So, Niall, what does self-care look like to you?
So, to get straight to the point, self-care, it kind of has it in its name, just taking care of yourself. But what that means, to me, is definitely taking responsibility for where you're at and where you want to be. So for me, it's all about living in alignment to the goal that you have set for yourself. So, for example, me and my morning routine, I wake up, I make sure I read, no matter what. I watch what I put in my head. I do my little push-ups. I know you be on the whole gym type shit, but this is for me. This is my self-care. This is my self-care. So I definitely drink my water. I have to watch what I put in my body. All that, man, straight to the point. Self-care, just really taking care of yourself and your physical, mental, social, trying to have a balance of really what you want in your life.
I like how you said that word balance, and then you said taking care of yourself, because I think when we think of self-care, sometimes people think about the materialistic things like, oh, I'm going to get myself a bag today, or I'm going to get like a shoe or something like that. But it's like, you got to take care of your body, because how you going to get to your destination if you're not taking care of your body in regards to what you're putting inside your body? So, you highlighting that, the water. I do tea and water. So, I look at different cultures too, what they got going on to, because we ain't got it all over here, you know what I mean? We trying to improve. So I like that. But, can you talk about, your routine? Can you share a little, your routine of, some things that you do?
So, honestly, bro, reading is definitely the biggest part for me. My routine is really just watching myself every day, trying to stay present, and really specifically being aware of my thoughts. So my routine, it's not like I have a little morning routine, but my routine, it's kind of how I live my life as I go about my day, how I interact with people. It's really just being aware of, how am I expressing myself fully? Do I want to be this person? How am I carrying myself? So it's really just trying to become all around just the best person I could be. At the same time, helping myself grow, uplifting the people around me, watching who you're around. That's a whole nother topic I could get into, but for sure, man, it's really more of a lifestyle thing for me.
Okay. Oh, it sounds like there's a noise in the back. Okay, but some things that I could share would be, what I like to do is I'm a nature person. I like to be out, so hiking, something like that. Sometimes I do it with my sisters or I do it alone. But nature is key for me. And one thing that was told to me by one of my mentors, Liliana, shout out, is when you're in nature, look at things that are unusual. It reduces your stress, and it just kind of you're in search of something that's just unpredictable. You know what I mean? So that type of stuff like that. So I do that. I like to go to the beach. Evenings, and just that's where I really get into my bag, where I really get into my mode, where I'm really in my thoughts, and you really pull yourself away from your traditional world of where you're at, you know what I mean? Just on a different mindset level, But in regards to the importance, from where I'm at right now, I would say self-care is important because it allows us to understand our process, we want to be able to get to the next level, or have these nice things, but we gotta be able to give ourselves take care of our self-care, so we're able to understand the process, and everything that's coming along with it. And like I said from the beginning with the CDC, it controls our stress, it controls the way how we impact others, how we receive information from others. So it's if we don't take care of ourselves, we're dysfunctional. We're really dysfunctional, So we have to really come to terms with that. But in regards to you, Niall, Um, do you see where I'm coming from, or do you have anything to add in regards to importance?
Bro, definitely. I really like what you're getting at. And I feel like just going outside specifically, it's not something that our generation gets enough of. We're
Mm,
too busy looking at screens. We're too busy comparing ourselves to the next person when in reality, the only person you should compare yourself to is the person you were yesterday, bro. You really should be constantly just trying to get better, even if it's just 1% every day. You know, it don't got to be much. And I feel like people get it mixed up when they're like, oh, I know I should be doing this. I know I should be doing that. One of the biggest myths I ever heard is knowledge is power. And let me tell you, it's applying knowledge that's the power. Because you can know all this stuff, but if you don't take action, you're still going to stay stagnant. You're still going to be in the same place you're at. You're not going to go outside. You're still going to be scrolling on your phone, bro. So I really like what you said, like really taking care of yourself, making sure to do these things, making sure to take action, whether if it's working out, whether if it's going for your walks, whether if it's calling your mom, my guy. Like for real, just tapping in with your family, like the people that are important to you, sending a text here and there, like, hey, just checking up on you, like, you know, I hope you've been doing okay. Something like that. It's crazy how the smallest action, the smallest change in your day can make the biggest difference, you
mhm.
know? And I definitely am a believer, like what you put into this world, like you're gonna get out of it because your thoughts, if you think negative all the time, you're gonna receive negative because your thoughts induce your emotions, and then your emotions literally directly affect your behavior. So I don't know, man. That's a whole nother topic again. You know, I'm definitely passionate about this type of stuff, man. But definitely, I hear you. I relate to you, and I definitely think what you got going on is good for yourself, bro. Just progressively getting better. And when I talk to you, I hear the growth. So, I'm glad to be here, man.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Also, one thing that I want to include too is pocket watching. You know what I mean? Something that's been going on for centuries. You know what I mean? It was been told to me as a broke man trait. You know what I mean? And also too for the ladies, you know what's going on. Yeah. But
You know what's going on?
but for real, like I just feel as if that people in life are in different various positions. You know what I mean? And you can't sit here and look at someone else and what they got and just kind of be envious towards what they have. You know what I mean? We have to work for ours. Ain't nobody coming to save us. You know what I mean? We have to put ourselves in position. For those that are religious, such as myself, I wouldn't say I was the most religious man in the world and this and that, but I'm religious. I'm a religious man. I believe in God. And my dad tells me that you got to carry your cross to heaven. You know what I mean? Straight up. Like the
Mm,
things that we do in our actions right now, and this left and right, how we treat people and how we affect others, like you'll be judged by, you know what I mean, the man above.
mm,
But just pulling it back to the focal point in regards to self care and how we look at other people and what they have, you don't know what their positioning is. Yes, this person may have a nice chain, have the car and this and that, but who knows? He could be asking his mother or sister for some gas money. You don't know what's going on with this person. You know what I mean? So don't let the
bro.
things, the materialistic things, the little tangible things distract you from your vision, from what you got going on. You know what I mean? And please give that clean cut, authentic energy to people because you're gonna be able to receive it. You know, a lot of us may have
Mm,
went through things where a person betrayed us. Misused us, abused our mental mind, took us for took the kindness. I forget how to say
hmm.
it, but you know what I mean. The
Yeah,
kind of
nah, for sure.
yeah, you know what I mean. Kind of rubbed us wrong. You know what I mean. But do not let people change you and your character. Because your character
Mm,
defines you as a person. You don't want to be looked upon as a dirty, ugly, non-vibrant person because of your energy. So, regardless of yourself, maintain yourself. You know what I mean? Take care of yourself. Love yourself. And provide and give to others. You know what I mean? Nothing wrong about being a good person. There's
bro.
nothing wrong about being nice. You know what I mean? You can still be a smooth, nice guy, be a gentleman, and still hold things down. You judging yourself. Be on your own type of time. Stop looking at what other. We have
Mm,
to start to unravel and unlearn the things that were put into us, the poor things that were put into us. So we got to navigate, and it's gonna be a little bit of a journey, but we have to start somewhere. And these discussions we bring into the light.
oh
Um,
yeah, man. I definitely got something to comment on that too. Like I feel like a big part of that is people's priorities. They got it all messed up. Like they're putting everybody else before them. But in reality, my opinion is I feel like you should treat yourself almost as if you're your own child. Because you see a lot of people, it's like, you don't want your kids hanging around a certain group of friends. You don't want your kids doing drugs. You don't want your kids, eating unhealthy, doing all this bad stuff. But the way you treat yourself, you're really neglecting yourself. It's like, okay, so it's okay for you to be irresponsible. It's okay for you to ingest this in your body that you know damn well isn't good for you. So that's another thing. Priorities, make yourself a priority. Make sure you're treating yourself as if you're a person of value and just holding yourself to a higher standard. Like that don't mean you got to walk around like on your high horse thinking you're better than nobody else. I'm not saying that, but treat yourself with some respect. Because if you don't respect yourself, how are you going to expect anybody else to respect you? That people got all types of confused, and specifically about pocket watching, bro. Oh my gosh, I could go on for days about this, but people love to spend their money on depreciating assets, bro. But it's like, like for real.
It's a different type of topic.
No, like for real, like people love to get the next iPhone. People love to get the new J's, but it's like, do people love to invest? I know I do. I know I like seeing them gains. I know I like getting that passive income, portfolio income. I know I like getting dividends, but it's like when you try to put people on, not everybody is even willing to listen.
That's one thing. Sorry to interrupt you, my fault. But that's one thing I can say about that. So you are willing to teach, man. And you are right. People, it's difficult for them to listen. But also too, some people get the sauce, but don't want to help people with the sauce. And that's what I'm telling them. Like, everybody want to get the bag. Everybody want to be the richest person. But like, how much money can you have, man? You know what I mean? Can you share some? Can you help people out? You know what I mean? So it comes down to that too, giving. And I don't see a lot of givers out here.
There's not, bro. There's a lot of bitterness. There's a lot of comparison. There's always like, you feel like you need to be better than the next person instead of like elevating your own brother, bro. There's a lot of that.
That's a problem. So in regards to right now, I want to talk to you about how reflecting and how that increases or, enhances the quality of your life. So we're in a good position right now, but how is reflecting about your thoughts from where you were in high school, maybe being timid or maybe even being more confident, outgoing with your personality, only you know yourself, from where you're at then to even maybe where you're at right now, like when you reflect on life and where you want to be in regards to your self-care.
Reflecting, bro, it's definitely an everyday journey, but looking back, I definitely try not to have any regrets because the funny thing about time, it's like the past and the future really only exist in our head, and we only have the present moment. So at the time, say when I made a decision in high school, it's like I gotta believe I made the best decision with the information that I had, the knowledge that I had. And obviously you're gonna make mistakes here and there, but it depends how you move with it. Like, is you gonna learn from it, or are you gonna be bitter? Are you gonna be arrogant? Are you always gonna think you're right? Like, it's very important to reflect on your thoughts. And one thing I will say, when you reflect on your thoughts, you shouldn't judge yourself. You shouldn't hold yourself down. You shouldn't degrade yourself. You look at it with a clear head, or at least the best you can, and try to implement strategies to perfect try to implement strategies to really make better. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Like, to try to implement strategies to better yourself. Sorry, what?
You don't want to self-sabotage yourself.
Exactly. That's what I'm trying to say. The point is growth, and that's an everyday journey.
From what I can say, too, to add on to the reflecting, a significant component that comes on that is related to the reflecting is you pulling yourself aside, which means that you spending time with yourself alone. Most growth happens alone. And
let me just say this: growth happens outside of your comfort zone, bro. It really does. A lot of people are scared to be alone, but sometimes that's really what you need to get to know yourself, to reflect, like you're saying.
You want to give an example? Give a little story time?
Yeah, bro, for sure. Because it's like, I feel like a lot of people could relate to this in college. Like, if you're at college and if you're living with, your one roommate, two roommates, whoever you're living with, people you're around your frat, you're around your sorority, all that. if you never take any time to reflect, like ultimately you're just going to be one of those people. You're not really going to be an individual. You're just going to be the sum of the average of the people that you hang around. And if you're always around them, you could easily lose the ability to differentiate like the type of people you want to be around, the type of people that you don't, the type of people that have your like-minded interests, your best at heart. So it's important to spend that time alone to be able to be like, oh, like this person did this, you know, what does that mean for me? Like, how does this person treat other people, instead of always just being in this circle, just always being drowning in other people's opinions, other people's thoughts, what other people want to do, sacrificing your time for these certain people, and really neglecting yourself again, not giving yourself enough time to be able to grow and, you know, choose the path you want to be on.
And what you're saying, you know, stepping out your comfort zone is very important, because like that's really where the growth happens alone. And a situation that I was in, me and my boy were supposed to go to a little club, you know what I mean, catch a little vibe, and things just, long story short, he didn't come. You feel me? I ended up going by myself. You know, I made it happen. And the drive was a little whoopski, you know what I mean, a little drive, but I made it happen. This was just for the strength of myself. I'm fine. I'm a man. I can stand on my 10 and move and do things or whatever. But I'm not used to, like, you know what I mean, going to events like that.
Yeah.
Alone, like, you know, so it was a challenge. You know, it was a challenge, but we made it happen. I still had a good time. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, you're there yourself. You're the one that's making the vibe. Like,
you got to,
you're
man.
making the vibe yourself. You know what I mean? Like, anytime I go out with anybody, you know, for the experience, we have to have the good mindset. We have to tell ourselves, you know, regardless of what we're walking into, we have to give it that energy. We have to give it that uplift. You know what I mean? Yeah. So long story, like I said, just to get to the point, I made it happen. It was good. I ended up driving back home, and I'm just like, wow, like it wasn't that bad. Like, you know what I mean? Like, wow, like, I really did it. Like, and then you also start to look at life at a different perspective, moving from that day forward. Like you said, if you are a person that's a follower, not a leader, you're a follower, so you're just behind someone looking at other people doing, you're not going to know what it's like to be the leader. You're not going to know how to, like when you're swiveling your head left and right, you're not going to know how to really, it's a different lifestyle. It's a different lifestyle, but only you would know when you start taking them steps.
No, it's definitely different. And I'm going to make it quick, bro. Something that I want to add on to just stepping out of your comfort zone. A lot of people will be like, you know, like let's just say I got this job, for example, and I hate it. I'm miserable at this job, but I'm too scared to, you know, quit and try something else. My response to that is, you're scared of the wrong thing. I feel like you should be scared of the alternative, which is, say, staying at that job for 5 more years. You're already miserable. Where do you think you're going to be in 5 more years? So just flipping that one thing, just flipping that perspective, like, it can go a long way.
That's very true. The mindset is very important, and throughout this process, we need to be telling ourselves positive things throughout our process, because this is gonna is one thing. My boy Trayvon, shout out. He told me, it's like, when you start working towards your goal, when you find your purpose, when you start trying to self-improve, when you get on the right track, when you're actually trying to handle business and move forward, you're going to have the opposite coming towards you. For those that don't know, the demons are going to start coming at you, trying to mess with you. In your head, you're going to start having even friends may even hit you up and just throw you off track. You're going to start to see a significant change. But throughout this process, you got to have a plan. You got to have mentors, people that are positive figures around you. Things have to change. You know what I mean? It's the bridges of life. You know? It's either left or the right. Like, you got to start to pick and choose of what you really want to do. How you going to be great, but you ain't making great moves? You know what I mean? We ain't perfect. We're going to make some mistakes in the snap, but it's along this road, we have to have some type of vision of really trying to get there. But it's like, yeah, we have to really, you know, have a positive mindset, giving ourselves those compliments. You know what I mean? How you gonna sit here and get all giddy and jumpy when this person says you looking cute, but you know what you put on when you left the crib? You know what kind of shoes, you know what type of shoes you got on the heat. Like, let's just be real. Like, let's really look at ourselves. You know what I mean? So we gotta start giving ourselves those affirmations and starting to train our body, trying to train our mind. You know, but moving forward, I just want to say that it's very important for us in our society for right now to control what we consume, what we eat, and are putting on our bodies, what we listen to. You know what I mean? And it's also too, there's time and a place for certain things. There's a time when we need to tone it down. Like me, I like my little trap music and this and that, but I know to go to reggae. And, you know what I mean? Like, You can't be pumping all that in your head because it's gonna start to change things. You know what I mean? Vibrations. You know what I mean? But like I said, what we put in our bodies, what we listen to, and what we watch. A lot of us every day we go on Instagram, we slide in different apps, whatever. We're consuming a lot of negative things. Are not going to uplift us, or it's not positive. Let's be rid of ourselves now. Let's be rid of ourselves. So it's like we have to start listening to motivational speakers, the positive things that are going to really uplift us to what we need to be, changing ourselves. You know what I mean? Most of us got to really start praying, start to find some faith. You know what I mean? If you really want to be where you're going to be at, it's going to be tough, and you're going to need somebody behind you. You feel me? Like,
right. It's gonna be slow at them gates, bro. It's gonna be slow.
You know? But if there's anything else you want to add to, you know, the importance of, you know, society, self-care, you know, you can spit along.
Bro, yeah, man. Definitely to add to that, bro, like just something as simple as music. Like, I kind of touched on this earlier, but I feel like people, when they're like, say when they get heartbroken, they're like, oh, I gotta go work on myself. And they just try to completely just do a 360. It's like, no, like, it's these daily actions, these small daily actions, just one at a time. Like you said, you have an hour drive. Instead of listening to music the whole time, throw on a podcast for, 10 minutes. Something that'll bring you some value. Maybe you'll learn something. Maybe you'll be able to apply this to your life. Maybe you could even help somebody else while you're helping yourself. And then that uplifts you even more, because you put a smile on someone's face. Now you can sound more intelligent at a job interview. Now you can just conduct yourself in a manner like you're somebody that's articulate. Like, come on now. If you're gonna be putting all this stuff in your head, just over here playing video games and be obsessed with 2K, Call of Duty, all that, it's like, you're living a reality. This is like, we only get this once. Them games, like, you can die and come back to life. This is just once. This is really what you're gonna do with your time on this earth. Something that's really not bringing you to your goal forward, if you even have a goal. Man, we definitely gonna need a part 2 for this, bro.
You know, for real. We talk that talk all day, man. But for real, like, and we gotta look at, like I said, when you spend time, that we talked about earlier, when we spend time alone, we find an environment where we're able to get our mind clear. We're able to see things at a very different perspective, you know? So I'm looking at, like, distractions and how serious and how detrimental they are to our futures and our lives. You know what I mean? Like I said,
that's all the world is now. Full of distractions.
Yeah, bro. You know, the social media. You know, it's just a lot of that. You know what I mean, going on, and it's just distraction and distraction. You know, and there's more to it. There's more to it because we have our own families. We have our own history. We have our own issues going on. You know what I mean? As we age.
It's my fault, bro. I didn't mean to cut you off, but good. I just wanted to add, yeah, bro, definitely with distractions, social media, but also the news too. It's like, I'm not gonna lie. Obviously, Corona's mad unfortunate. You know, RIP to everybody that lost a loved one type. But bro, if you turn on the news, you didn't think the whole world is on fire. You didn't think everybody's racist. You didn't think, it's just hell out there when you walk outside. But your mental health is going to be better if you just don't allow that stuff to come in your mind. Like, you walk outside, it's like you can say hi to the next person. You can be cordial. It doesn't have to be all this tension. It doesn't have to be all these prejudices on both sides, on all sides, bro. It's just a lot of negativity because the media feeds on our negative emotion. It's about ratings. The news really shouldn't be opinionated. It's news. It should be objective.
We also need more community-based people that can possibly be on the news, so we can really know what's going on in the local area. Not who's behind the script. You know what I mean? That's another topic for another day too. But like, we have a lot of distractions that are messing with our minds, and we have to be able to have the sense, because we're the one that's making the actions every day. So all I'm asking is that we have some balance. You know what I mean? All I'm asking that we reevaluate ourselves to improve for the better and finding the balance. I'm not saying that you can never go into the news and shut off that forever ever, and it's just like on some zombie and apocalypse type stuff. Like, we need to know what's going on.
I hear you, bro.
I hear you. We need some balance, you know, because a lot of us out here, it's 24 hours in a day. What are we doing with it? You know what I mean? We sleep at least 6 to 8. So what are we doing for the other hours? Because That's almost 2/3 of what are we doing? What are we doing?
Right,
And
man.
what are we putting into our mind?
Who are you helping? What is your purpose? What are you providing to the world? Are you spewing negativity or are you spewing positivity? You're trying to lift others up or bring them down? Come on now. What are we doing here? I hear you, bro.
But from what I want to do to end off this conversation in regards to our self-care, we had our guests. We talked about the importance of self-care. We broke down a little bit of our experiences and how it's very impactful, how it's influential to our futures. And like I said from the beginning, from the CDC, I can read that in a little bit. But what any last words you wanna speak to the audience?
Man, I just want to say I really appreciate what you're doing, man. Glad to be on your show anytime, bro. I definitely see the growth. Again, I appreciate it, man. And thanks for listening to everybody. Show.
No problem. Thank you. Okay, everybody for listeners. According to the CDC, Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, mental health includes our emotional, psychological, and social well-being. It affects how we think, feel, and act. It also helps determine how we handle stress, relate to others, and make healthy choices. Mental health is important at every stage of life, from childhood and adolescence through adulthood. So I wanted to let you guys know this is a serious thing. We need to take care of ourselves. May you guys be blessed. Thank you for thriving with me. Thank you for talking with me. Thank you for thriving. And we'll see you till next time. Love.
Till next time, man, for sure.
To the Thriving Talks family, I'm asking you to share your self-care routine and which it can benefit others. This is a family, so let's bring it in.
If you want make a ginger, give me tea, kokoro. My touch, I be your love. Anywhere I go, just come up with my bum.